Hi, everybody. It's Kristina Dennis, the Transformational Self Empowerment Master. And I'm coming to you right before I sit down with a girlfriend of mine to go over some really intense spiritual work. And I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. And I feel humbled sometimes with this work, whether or not I'm even capable. But I know that the first step and what most of us are always looking for, and what I was always looking for, is compassion and love and acceptance. And so if I can go at this, these next 3 or 4 hours with that frame in mind, I woke up this morning, I had prayer time and meditation saying, please just let me be whatever I need to be so that I can, bear witness to this person's journey. So I've got that kind of on my mind, and I have just a little bit of time. And I wanted to bring up and discuss the idea of jealousy and envy. Gosh, I was plagued with this for years. I felt like it just wasn't fair. And you know what? In many cases, it wasn't fair. I'm just going to be honest. The way I was treated as a child compared to my sister aunt felt awful. People recognized it. And then as I grew older, of course, I attracted situations that reinforced that idea to me. It still surprises me when people are mean-spirited or they have this fear of you taking something from them by existing. And it's just more recently in the last 3 or 4 years, maybe 10, where I have decided that I'm worthy of fighting for. I've always been a really great warrior. I discuss it a lot in the videos before and with my friends and team members, corporations that I've spoken in front of, that it's easy for me to pick up a cause and fight for it. Hard as heck for me to do that for myself. And I can say honestly that I am getting more comfortable with the idea that I don't even have to fight for myself much anymore. I did for a long time. I wasn't comfortable with it. I would have to make somebody else incredibly wrong in order for me to speak up. And I was messy and clumsy with it. And the first time I said no, I thought I was going to die. And does it still plague me sometimes when I have to set boundaries and say no? Yes, it does. It really does. It's very hard. But I've gotten to the place where I understand what jealousy and envy is. And I have a dear friend, she's writing a book right now. And as soon as she gets it done, I'm going to be on here talking about it because she's brilliant. And we were discussing, as middle-aged women, how weird it is to still feel jealous and hate. I mean, you get to a point where you hate it, don't you? I know I do. I hate feeling jealousy or envy. I want to shortcut it. I want to be more spiritual than that. And she said something that I've been reading over and over again. So it just smacked me up again, side of my face, like, yes, this is so true, that anytime I'm jealous or envy, it comes from a fear of lack. It comes from a place of scarcity. And, I can't shame myself for having those instincts based on the way I was raised. And shaming yourself doesn't fix anything anyway. Hello, it only makes us crazier or more difficult by shaming ourselves or having normal feelings. But it comes always from a place that that person has something I might not have enough then. If they get it, then there wasn't enough for me left over. And I am making a huge effort to change my mind around that. It's what the law of attraction is based on. It is what all kinds of spiritual teachers discuss and talk about, that there is enough, that there's enough, that I'm enough. But to actually combat that feeling in the moment when something happens, to have that feeling in the moment and be like, just because that happened to them, just because they were blessed, does not mean that my blessing isn't coming. Is pragmatic and it's helpful. So I wanted to discuss if anybody else out there ever feels a sense of lack or a place of scarcity or a fear that there isn't enough around. I know when I was working with treatments with my son, I would have to campaign to get him to be like the first, 100 kids that got this treatment. And in that mindset, some of it was scarce because you just can't get into a doctor. Maybe y'all don't realize this, but if you want to get in to see a specialist, you could wait 6 months. If you want to get in to have an agency come to your house to help you with your child, you could wait up to a year. And all while you're seeing this child suffer and struggle. So I'm going to just let myself be very loving about the fact that I came from a situation as a child that made me scrappy. I was in the corporate world as a young woman in management and directorship, and that made me scrappy. The hotel business is definitely more male than female. In the late 80s, early 90s, we didn't have some of the things that we have going on right now. And it's still not okay. There's still not equality. But I get into this place of lack of enough for my son, lack of enough money to help provide for treatments, lack of enough insurance, lack. And of course, I was going to get into the scarcity mind frame. So when my friend said this to our mutual friend, that you're not a bad person for being jealous. You're not a bad person for having envy. In fact, embrace that feeling. Oh, here's a clue. I'm feeling jealous. I'm feeling envious. I'm afraid. I am coming at life with a mindset of scarcity. And that is not going to help any of my outcomes or any of my relationships. And so I want to start embracing any moments that I feel that way as a good insight and a good clue to what's going on, and how I can go back in and work on that belief system and realize there is plenty all around me. And so I'm going to just change my mind frame a little bit and start thinking that way. And I'd love to hear from you all telling me how you feel that way, and how knowing that there is enough, and knowing that, my God is infinite and there's just plenty for everyone, can help loosen some of the grips that I have or that you have on certain beliefs and certain behaviors. Because really all I want to do is feel better about, being in this world, to live better and to be around people who are feeling better and living better. And from that platform, we can change the world, and we can stop these sicknesses that take over, stop the competition, stop the comparison. Well, just a thought today, an important one to me, and let me know if you have any thoughts on that. And as always, if you want to discuss something, shoot me a message. Also on the website, transformationalselfempowerment.com, there's a free ebook if you want to look at that information and start working some of the activity steps. I'd love to hear what you think. All right, everybody have a good day. Love you.